Why can't we be friends? Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, this is a famous line that the narcissist pulls over and over and over again. You see, it's when the narcissist is at the end of the relationship. It's when they most likely have discarded you, or you are getting divorced, or you were divorced, or you're understanding who they are, and they are without supply. They're thinking to themselves, well, okay, maybe we could still be friends. Why do you think the narcissist would still want to be friends with somebody, specifically if they were married to them after a period of time, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years? You should know the answer by now. If you don't, stick with the video and I will share it with you. You see, the narcissist needs supply. We've talked about this for years, and I've shared more and more information. I've shared probably about 42, 43% of the information I've acquired, and every single day I acquire more and more and more wisdom and information on toxicity, narcissism, empathy, mindset, purpose, trajectory, and energy. You should be getting your cup full by now, and you should be understanding that not only are you the priority, that you come first, second, and third, but that the narcissist knew what they were doing, and they did it deliberately. They tricked you, they trapped you. What they wanted to do was isolate you from the world, and they wanted to make sure that you were captured and you were going nowhere. It's almost as if it's that invisible leash that was around you, or the invisible tethers that were tethered to you. This is what the narcissist does. It's the illusion to the exterior, to the outside world, that everything is going really well with the two of you. It's puppies and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, and everything couldn't be better. Not always, but many times. And then behind the four walls of the house that you were living in with the parasite, that's when you get peppered with abuse. That's when you get inundated with toxicity. And that's when the narcissist takes their mask off over and over and over again. And when you finally understand that the narcissist did know what they were doing, and that they're doing it right now if they're still living, then you realize that you need to get as far away from these people as fast as you possibly can. And you need to understand also that these people don't change, and that they do know what they are doing. If you think for a minute they don't, you need to really, really do a deeper dive on narcissism. They breathe the same air as you, they put on the same clothes, they drive the same cars, and they have access to the same information that you do. The difference between you and them is they want to use their information for toxicity, negativity, or manipulation, and you want to use your information to help people out. That's why you are what I call a beautiful, bright, shining light. That's why you were targeted, and that's why you were trapped in that narcissistic relationship, not even knowing what was going on. The narcissist knew what they were doing because they had done it before. So as the thumbnail mentions, why can't we be friends? Let's say your relationship is over, it's ended, and you've been divorced, or you're about to get divorced, or whatever it was. I mean, you didn't have to be married, but it's done. You figured out who the narcissist is. There will be times, and this may apply to you, it may not. If it applies to you, stick with the video. If it doesn't, stick with the video, because you want nothing to do with these people, i.e. the narcissists. You want nothing to do with them. They will continue to throw you under the bus. They will continue to blame shift you, and they will continue to do whatever they can do to get whatever they want from you, which could be time, money, empathy, energy, love. It could be so many more access. It could be your ideas. It could be your hopes, dreams. It could be all of your life's work. Who knows what it is? But the narcissist wants to take and take and take. And when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right. They want to take more. So when the narcissist said, let's say this happened with you, oh, why can't we be friends? Why do you think, knowing what you know now, that they would want to remain or be friends with you? The reason is because you have what they don't have. You have energy, you have trajectory, you have empathy, you have kindness. You are you, and they won't have you if you are blocking them and going no contact, etc. Now that's what I've been sharing for almost 5 years of videos. You must go no contact, block that person. You have to delete them. You have to remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? So when the narcissist wants to stay friends, or they want to be friends, or they want to try to remain in your life a little bit, and it's in the friend group, you need to shut that door and shut it as rock solid as you possibly can. Because what will happen is that person you're considering, the narcissist, all they're trying to do is come at you from a different angle. Now they're trying to use the friend card. Why can't we be friends? Can't we just spend some time and do this and grab a coffee, or whatever they would say to you? Knowing what you know now, you can't be friends with the narcissist. You couldn't be friends with them before, and you can never be friends with them in the future, because these people will drop you they will discard you at the drop of a hat. And once they deem that they find somebody that they believe is a better source of supply, or something new, another new shiny object, etc., they won't give you the time of day. This is why these people, the narcissists, they're trapped in a cycle. It's the love bomb euphoric stage, it goes to the devaluation stage, the ending, and at times there's a hoover. Remember, become unhooverable. Do not accept a hoover, and certainly do not encounter, or do not entertain, I should say, being friends with a narcissist. If you're friends with the narcissist, think about what they're going to do. They're going to learn where you're going this weekend. They're going to learn what classes you're taking. They're going to learn what books you're reading. They're going to learn what your haircut is, where you're getting your haircut. They're going to learn about where you're going on vacation. They're going to learn about what car you're getting, or who you are now communicating with, or who you're dating, or what you think is important, or what you don't think is important. You see, the narcissist wants to information harvest. And what that means, and I've shared it for a few years in videos, is all they want to do is collect and gather information. They want to sift through information, and they want to take whatever they think is important, and they want to leave the rest. But they do this repeatedly. They do it over and over and over again. So whereas when you were in the relationship, I'm going in the past now, you could never get your bearings. You could never catch your breath. You were walking on eggshells. You couldn't open the front door without wondering or holding your breath, trying to figure out, would it be Dr. Jekyll or would it be Mr. Hyde? That's because the relationship you were a part of, past tense means were, that was a toxic relationship. You didn't know back then what you know now. It wasn't your fault. You were targeted, you were trapped, and they knew it. Now that you know it, if you are even considering, or if you were considering, or if the narcissist pitched it to you, why can't we be friends? That's a rock solid no. These people don't change. I'm referring to the narcissists. They don't improve. All they do is get worse over time. They get more grumpy, more cranky. The mask, they can't sustain it much longer, because as they get older, they don't want to put the mask on. It's too much work. It's too cumbersome. So what do they want to do? When they say something like that, hey, why can't we be friends? Or can we be friends? That kind of thing. What they're saying to you is, I'm still lost on this planet called Earth. I don't have a supply source even close to you. I will never find one. I want to still be able to get the best from you, punish you when I want to, and make sure that you stay trapped, because you will be my friend. And I will take the goodness of you without me having all of the obligations of the past when we were married, hypothetically, that I never fulfilled anyway. You should play that part of the video, and you should play it multiple times. You see, this is what the narcissist does. They promise you the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything in between, and they deliver absolutely zero. They give you toxicity. They give you gaslighting. They give you blame shifting, triangulation, financial abuse. They give you nothing but a relationship you have to heal from. So if you were pitched that question by the narcissist, why can't we be friends? Or, hey, let's just hang out, let's just chill, that kind of thing. Or let's just spend some time once in a while. You now know what's going on. What's going on is that person, they know. I'm referring to the narcissist. They know they can't replace you, because you are the beautiful, bright, shining light. They want access to you. It's not exclusive because they didn't finish you off, although that could be part of it. The real part is because they know that they're lost without direction. They know that you provided direction for them. They know that you solved problems for them. They know that you steered them for a period of time through their life. You directed them, you steered them away from this and into that, and you guided them, and you probably did so many more things for them than you're even giving yourself credit. Think about the job of the narcissist. Let's say that they did have a full-time job. And I know, you're probably rolling your eyes or shrugging your shoulder. Really? The person I was with, they didn't work one day in their life. They sat down in the basement playing Xbox all day on their spaghetti-stained t-shirt and fumbling through life, eating bags of Cheetos and asking for more and more food to be delivered from Uber Eats or whatever, DoorDash, whatever it is. They did nothing. I get it. But let's just say for this example or illustration that they did work. Did you help them with their reports? Did you help them with their meetings? Did you tell them what clothes they should be wearing? Did you tell them that they should be approaching ABC person, they should leave XYZ person alone? You did. You guided them. Remember this, when you were with the narcissist, when they would come home, if they did manage to hold down a job, I can assure you, they came home from work and they dumped all of their work problems on you, or they at least talked about them. But they didn't ask you, hey, what do you think about this? No, they just kind of threw them out there because you were the troubleshooter back then. Remember, you were the unpaid helper and you were trapped in the narcissistic fog. So they just threw them at you. And what would you do? You would drop whatever you were doing. You would dissect them. You would want to fix them. You would want to pump up the fragile ego of the narcissist, and you would want them to be in a better space for tomorrow because you were going to bat for the narcissist. You were turning a blind eye to yourself, and you were doing what the narcissist couldn't do themselves. Now you're getting it. You're understanding. You see, the narcissist needs a fuel source. They need somebody to do things for them, but it's not just cook, clean, pay bills, and put a roof over their head. They're lost ships in an ocean of abuse. They don't know what to do. Why do you think they enlist so many flying monkeys? Why do you think they have enablers? Why do you think they keep people subservient to them? The reason why is because the narcissist can never, and I mean never, raise up the right hand and say, yeah, I really don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. I faked my way through university. I copied. I cheated. I got the A's, but I didn't do any work. And now I'm in a job that I'm not qualified for. What do I do now? They're not going to do that. They're not going to say that. They're going to do it, but they're not going to say that. So they have to, the narcissist in their tiny little pea brain, they usually approach people with the mindset of they know everything and they're in control and they know all the answers. Well, that's not the truth. They make it appear that way, but quietly underneath the scene, behind the radar, they're listening to people and they're collecting what they deem to be valuable, and they are not listening to anything that they don't think can help them out. So when the narcissist says, why can't we be friends? It's because you now know what you didn't know before. You now know that all of your energy was going into a bottomless pit. It was going into a huge void. It was going into a massive wasteland that could never be filled for any length of time. As soon as you did, let's say you had 1 week in the calendar year, 7 days, and let's say for 7 days in a row, and for you, it probably was many more than 7 days. It was probably more like 10, 20, 30 years or the length of the relationship. But I'm taking 1 week as an example. During that week, you probably put out more fires for them in that 1 week than they could for themselves in any 1 year. Think about what I'm sharing with you. Why do you think you did those things? You did them because you didn't know what you know now, and they wanted you to do them because they were incapable of doing things for themselves. Now you may say, well, wow, that makes the narcissist seem like really they're vulnerable, they need help. No, that's not true. They play any angle they want to. The narcissist is a predator. You need to remember that. They know what they're doing. They will approach any angle. The cerebral narcissist, the somatic narcissist, the communal narcissist, the vulnerable narcissist, the talkative narcissist. There are thousands of types of narcissists out there. And no, by no means do I think everyone is the narcissist. Quite the opposite. What I'm trying to share with you is when the narcissist says, hey, why can't we be friends? What it means is I want to have access to you despite the fact everything I did to you. I want you, I'm acting like the narcissist and I'm not. I want you to turn a blind eye. I want you to still be able to communicate with me, and I want to have access to you, and I want to have your time, your opinions, your money, your purpose, your hopes, your relationships. I want everything and more, but I don't want to have to be able to contribute anything. If you think about it, before, let's say you were married to the narcissist, what did they contribute to the relationship? Absolutely nothing. Zero. So now, let's say that you were married again. And I know I'm saying this a lot in this video because not everyone was married. Quite the opposite. Most people weren't married to the narcissist. But even if you weren't and they say to you, hey, why can't we be friends? It's because you've seen this song and dance over and over and over again. Remember the example I shared years ago, and other YouTubers are beginning to use this example, which is Charlie Brown and Lucy. When Lucy, it's the Thanksgiving Day special, I believe, or the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. When Lucy has the football, she puts it down on the ground, Charlie Brown goes to kick it, and then Lucy pulls the football back and Charlie Brown goes, boom. Well, that's what the narcissist does over and over and over again. They won't change. They know it. They won't introspect. They know it. They don't care about anybody but themselves, and they know it. So when they say, why can't we be friends? That is their Hail Mary. They are trying to say to you, hey, I know what I did. You know what I did. I'm not going to tell you. You know you've had to heal. And guess what? I had nothing to heal from, but I still want to abuse you, manipulate you, trick you, trap you, blame you, wash, rinse, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. That's why you need to close the chapter of the book on the narcissist as soon as you possibly can. And you need to heal and heal properly. You cannot be friends with the narcissist. One more very important part of this video. For those of you who are still holding on to a breadcrumb of hope, a breadcrumb of what will never be, a breadcrumb of what the narcissist whispered in your ear, yes, ABC, you're my soulmate, you're the love of my life, whatever they said, you need to understand that was the narcissist trying their best to manipulate you, to isolate you, so they could feast off of you all by themselves. You need to cut the cables with the narcissist. You need to leave them in the past, and you need to be toxic relationship free. That's the path. The path is to leave these people in the past, let them slither off wherever they're going, as long as it's away from you, and you need to heal and heal properly. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Understand a few things. One, the narcissist will, at times, and maybe you experienced it, why can't we be friends, or can we be friends, that kind of thing. That's a rock solid no. You need to really understand. These people don't change, but what they're trying to do is see if you're open to still entertaining being a friend with them, or lowering the relationship from a romantic relationship down to a friendship. You can use whatever words you want. That way they can still keep you in the friend zone and still have access to you. You can't do that. You won't heal. You won't improve. You will still be doing things for them. They will still be blowing up your phone. They'll still be hanging up on you, dropping F-bombs, and worse. The narcissist only deteriorates, and they will take anybody down with them that gets too close to them. That's why once you get the wisdom, you need to close the chapter of the book on the narcissist. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.